If you're using a stationary rope system and on this particular day you notice that you gotta start from the ground up, advance your way up, I'll show you a way to use a sewn eye and a quickie to advance your way up a tree using a stationary rope system. All right, let's get to it. So just say that I decided that I got to this tree, I have my SRS rope and a system that I'm gonna use. I don't want to body thrust up, so I'll just start advancing from the ground. Maybe because there's like rot that I can't see and I'm kind of worried about it, so I'm gonna check as I go upward. So the first thing I'll do is I'll have a sewn eye that can hold a quickie, something that's wide enough. There's some eyes that can't, like there's a spliced eyes that are too small, you might not be able to do it. But you know, if you have one that a quickie will fit in, something like this. So the first thing I'll do is I'll just go to a lower branch and I'll throw in and just work my way up. I mean, you could go to a higher branch, but just for this example, we'll do low and do a couple of advancements. So throw a low branch here, throw it over, come back to me. All right. Undo my line. Now what I'll do is I'll grab my quickie and I'll pop it in place. Let me see here. Okay. And then I'm gonna grab my rope here. I'm just gonna snap it in and then I'm gonna send it up. Right there, I'm not gonna be up against the trunk and it'll work perfectly. Now what I'll do is I'll get my system. I'm going to attach my Michoacán. Here we go. There we go. I dress and set it. I'll rotate my hitch. Get my wrench. Pop it over. Pop it in place, unhook, get my pulley ready, my carabiner through the eye, the bottom becket of the pulley, the other bottom becket, clip the top of my wrench to the top of my hitch climber pulley here. All right, now I'm ready to ascend to the first point. Now I'll attach my system to my belt. Now once I do that, I'll connect my chesty and I'll just go up to the first section. And then I'll prepare to advance my line a little bit more. Throw it inside my ascender. Now I'm ready to step. Okay. Okay, once I get here, I'll take off my ascender and I'll stand up and prepare to advance further. Let me see. Now that I'm here, I'll connect my lanyard. Tighten my lanyard. Okay, now that I've got to the first tie-in point, I've already put my lanyard on and I've already slacked the line. So I'm just gonna disconnect the quickie, a couple depressions, pop it out. Now I'm gonna go through my lanyard here. I'm gonna give myself a little bit more slack because I want to get to a branch maybe about 5 feet above my head. So I'm gonna toss it to that branch right there in front of me. All right. Now that I got it there I go. Now that I've captured it, I'm going to connect the quickie back to my line. Pop it in, lock it in place. I'm still connected even with my chesty, so all I gotta do is tension my line, send it up, tension it up. All right. And now I'll disconnect my lanyard, and I'll start advancing upward. So just by probably even getting up into the tree, standing, I'm gonna go toward my final tie-in. So now all I have to do is really get this closer to the trunk, get it snugged up, and then I'm gonna decide where I'll put my lanyard. So I think I'll pick a final tie-in a little bit higher. Let's see. Okay, now that I got my lanyard on, make it tight. I'll disconnect the Quickie again. 2 depressions. Okay, click it back in. So now that I've got my lanyard attached here, I have my Quickie. So I'm going to pick a good center leader with a side branch. Now, here we go. Now that I got it over a side branch, what I need to do next is send this portion, the end with the Quickie, down to the ground, because that's going to be the part that I'm going to retrieve when I get to the ground. So what I have to do is get the distance. So I'm sending it down. To do that with the system I have, I hold my rope wrench and I pull the knot until I hit the ground. Once I hit the ground, I'm gonna find, maybe put about a couple extra feet. Okay, now that I have that set, so what I was supposed to do is get the Quickie off the tip of my line and use it to reconnect. Hang on, I have another Quickie here that I will use. Okay, so I have a Quickie. I've sent this part of the line down. I'll make a butterfly on this line, just like after I make the butterfly, tie, dress, and set it. Okay. All right. Okay. Alrighty, there I go. Now what I'll do is I'll put the Quickie onto that butterfly, and I'm going to make sure that the slick pin is facing the trunk. I'll connect it. Now this is my tie-in point right here, and then this line will be my retrieval line once I get to the ground. What I'm also going to do, since I'm not planning on going straight down and I have a lot of rope to pull, I'm going to send my line that I sent to the ground back down the way I came up. And here we go. And what I should have done was taken my Quickie. If I only had one Quickie, I would have taken my Quickie off and held on to it to do the choke up here. So let me take this off real quick so I'm not tossing it to the ground. Okay. I'll stow this off to the side. And I'm sending my eye down to the ground where I'm coming down the tree. Normally what I would have done is just sent this whole end down to the ground, or if I had like a Texas tug for me to retrieve my line. So here's the setup. I advanced up to here. I sent the other end down to the ground. Will be my retrieval section to take my system when I get down to the ground. Now that I've reached the ground, I'm gonna detach all my climbing system, and with this end, the end that I sent down, I'll retrieve the canopy tie off. So if I had just sent it straight down up there, then I would have been over a couple of branches, so it might have been a little bit more difficult to take out. There are other things you can do, like a Texas tug and maybe a floating canopy anchor that could help you on redirects, but we didn't have any of that set up, so I threw the line back over in the same way I came up to make it easier. So I'll disconnect the system here. There we go. Get my eye off. Detach my slick pin off my hitch climber here. Connect it back together just so I can have it all as one piece. Alright, take the rope wrench off and then slide into that little groove, pop it out, pop it back in, put everything on my carabiner. I'll set it off to the side here. Alright, so this is the end that I climbed on, and this is my retrieval line. It's as simple as just grabbing it and pulling it toward you. Here we go. So see how it's coming through this one area? Now if I went over multiple branches, it would be a lot more difficult. That's why I sent the retrieval line in the same area. So once you get it back down to you, all you have to do is take off the Quickie. Pop your line out. Oops. Keep on doing that. Do another depression, make it easier. Okay. Undo the butterfly. And now all I have to do is just pull it back through and ready to go. Well, there you have it. Ascending with a stationary rope system using a sewn eye and a Quickie. Just another option to make it a little bit easier. And especially if you decided to work your way up a tree using an SRS system. You know, of course, it's always great to throw it up to the top of the tree, but there might be those times when you have to work your way to the bottom. From the bottom and going upward, and you really don't want to do body thrusting. So it's a good alternative if you have a sewn eye and a Quickie to make it a little bit faster to ascend the tree. And in the same way, you could bring it back down. It's nice to have a way to retrieve it once you do your stationary rope system. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Comment, like, and subscribe. As always, share our videos with your friends. Take care. We'll see you next time.